Are you tired of buying expensive chemical fertilizers only to get a handful of sad, bitter cucumbers? What if I told you the ultimate secret to a massive, crunchy harvest is sitting in your kitchen right now? Today, we are talking about baking soda. Yes, the exact same white powder you use to bake cookies and clean your refrigerator. I promise you, by the end of this video, you will never look at a box of baking soda the same way again. It sounds completely crazy, right? How could something so basic make your cucumber vines explode with heavy, delicious fruit? But that is the beautiful paradox of gardening. Sometimes the most powerful solutions are the simplest ones hidden right under our noses. I am going to reveal the exact recipe, the timing, and the hidden science behind this amazing trick. But first, I have a question for you. Have you ever used a kitchen ingredient in your garden before? Let me know in the comments below. Let us see who the real garden experimenters are. Before we dive into the exact methods, we need to understand a little bit of history. Long before massive garden centers and chemical companies existed, our grandparents had to rely on whatever they had around the house. They were organic gardeners before it was even a trendy word. They understood that the garden and the kitchen were deeply connected. Baking soda, which is scientifically known as sodium bicarbonate, was one of their favorite tools. It has been used for over a century to clean, deodorize, and heal. But its role in agriculture is truly fascinating. In the 1930s, researchers began noticing that certain alkaline substances could drastically alter how plants defend themselves against diseases. Baking soda creates a specific environment where bad things simply cannot survive, while the good things absolutely thrive. It is a natural, safe, and incredibly cheap way to manipulate the microclimate of your vegetable patch. Now, let us break down exactly how this humble powder works its magic on your cucumbers. Let us start with the first major benefit, which is balancing the soil chemistry. Cucumbers are notoriously picky eaters. They absolutely hate soil that is too acidic. If your dirt is sour, the roots of the cucumber plant simply lock up and shut down. They refuse to absorb essential nutrients, no matter how much fertilizer you dump on them. Imagine trying to drink a thick milkshake through a tiny crushed straw. That is exactly how your cucumber feels in highly acidic dirt. Baking soda is naturally alkaline. When you introduce a very mild solution to the soil, it gently neutralizes that excess acid. This opens up the nutrient pathways immediately. Suddenly, your plant can eat again. It easily absorbs nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium from the earth. Many gardeners think they need to buy expensive soil amendments to fix this problem. But the truth is, a simple, cheap box of baking soda can fix the acid balance almost perfectly. When the root system is happy and feeding well, the vines will grow incredibly thick. The leaves will become massive solar panels, and your final harvest will be truly spectacular. Now, let us talk about the biggest enemy of the cucumber plant. I am talking about powdery mildew. If you have ever grown cucumbers, you know this nightmare. It looks like someone came into your garden at night and spilled white baking flour all over your beautiful green leaves. Many beginners think it is just dust. But let me debunk that myth right now. It is a highly aggressive fungus that blocks sunlight and slowly suffocates your plant to death. This is where baking soda becomes a superhero. When you spray a baking soda solution on the leaves, It dramatically changes the surface level pH. Fungus spores need a slightly acidic environment to sprout and spread. By making the leaf surface alkaline, you are basically turning the leaf into a toxic alien planet for the mildew. The spores land, but they cannot survive or multiply. You are stopping the disease in its tracks without using harsh, toxic fungicides that could harm your family or your pets. It is a completely natural invisible shield that keeps those leaves dark green and healthy all season long. Have you ever walked out to your garden and noticed your cucumber leaves turning a sad pale yellow? This premature aging breaks every gardener's heart. Yellow leaves usually mean the plant is stressed, lacking nutrients, or suffering from a fungal issue at the roots. When leaves turn yellow, they stop producing chlorophyll. This means they stop making food for the baby cucumbers. A highly diluted baking soda treatment can act like an energy drink for your vines. By neutralizing harmful pathogens in the soil and boosting nutrient uptake, the plant can focus its energy back into growing rather than fighting for its life. Imagine a droopy, tired plant suddenly waking up, stretching out, and pushing out fresh, dark green growth. It is truly amazing to watch. The baking soda helps clear out the invisible roadblocks that are causing the plant to stress and turn yellow. Just a simple application can reverse the yellowing process if you catch it early enough. Your vines will look 10 years younger, ready to produce more flowers and more fruit. Let us move on to the invisible vampires of the garden, pests, specifically aphids and spider mites. These tiny bugs love to hide under cucumber leaves and suck the sweet sap right out of the plant. They drain the life out of your vines and spread terrible diseases. Most people reach for heavy chemical bug sprays, but those sprays also kill the good guys like bees, butterflies, and ladybugs. We need bees to pollinate the cucumber flowers, or we get no vegetables. Baking soda offers a brilliant, gentle alternative. When bugs come into contact with a mild baking soda spray, the alkaline nature irritates their soft little bodies. It makes your cucumber leaves taste terrible to them. It is like trying to eat a heavily salted cracker when you are already thirsty. They simply pack their bags and move somewhere else. But because there are no harsh poisons involved, the hard-shelled beneficial insects, like our beloved ladybugs, are completely safe. You get to evict the bad bugs while keeping the essential pollinators happy and working in your garden. Here is something every cucumber lover fears. You pick a beautiful, giant cucumber, slice it up, take a bite, and spit it out because it is horribly bitter. Nobody likes a bitter cucumber, but why does this happen? Cucumbers produce a chemical called curbitacin when they are severely stressed. This stress usually comes from wild temperature swings, inconsistent watering, or poor soil conditions. When the plant panics, it pumps this bitter chemical into the fruit to protect its seeds from being eaten. Baking soda actually helps keep the plant calm and balanced by ensuring the soil pH remains steady and the roots are easily taking in water and food. The plant never goes into panic mode. The result is pure magic. Your cucumbers will grow perfectly straight, heavily hydrated, and incredibly sweet and crisp. You will never have to worry about ruining a summer salad again. A calm, well-fed cucumber plant always produces the best-tasting vegetables, and baking soda is the perfect cheap tool to maintain that peaceful garden environment. So, how do we actually make this magic potion? The recipe for a foliar spray is incredibly simple, but you must be precise. Do not just guess the amounts. Grab a clean, empty spray bottle or a garden pump sprayer. You will need exactly 1 gallon of clean, lukewarm water. Do not use freezing cold water straight from the hose, as this will shock the plant. Next, take exactly 1 level tablespoon of pure baking soda. Do not use baking powder. It is not the same thing. Pour the baking soda into the water and shake it vigorously for about 30 seconds. You want to make sure every single grain is completely dissolved. If it is not mixed well, you could end up with strong concentrated drops that might hurt the leaf. Think of it like making a delicate salad dressing. Everything must be perfectly blended. Once the water is clear and the powder is gone, your organic fungal shield is ready to use. It takes less than 2 minutes to prepare, and it costs only pennies to make. This is the ultimate budget gardening secret. While spraying the leaves is great for disease control, sometimes the roots need direct attention. This brings us to the root drench method. The mixture for watering the soil is slightly different than the spray. Because the roots are delicate, we want to go a bit lighter. Use just 1 teaspoon of baking soda per gallon of water for a root drench. Mix it thoroughly in your watering can. Pour this mixture directly onto the soil at the base of the main stem. Imagine the liquid soaking deep into the earth, reaching the deepest, thirstiest root hairs. This mild alkaline wash helps clean the root zone. It suppresses soil-borne fungi that cause root rot, and it sweetens the surrounding dirt. I highly recommend doing a root drench once a month during the peak growing season. It acts like a system reset for the plant. Just remember to pour it gently so you do not wash away the topsoil. It is a gentle therapy session for the foundation of your cucumber plant, keeping it strong enough to hold heavy vegetables. Now, we must talk about the golden rule of applying baking soda. Timing is absolutely everything. If you do this wrong, you will destroy your plants. Never, ever spray your cucumber leaves in the middle of the day when the sun is shining brightly. Water droplets act like thousands of tiny magnifying glasses. If the hot midday sun hits those wet leaves, it will literally cook the plant tissue and leave terrible burn marks. The absolute best time to spray is in the early morning, just as the sun is coming up, or in the late evening as the sun is going down. I personally prefer the early morning. This gives the liquid enough time to dry on the leaf surface before the heat of the day arrives. It leaves behind a thin, invisible, powdery shield. If you spray late at night and the leaves stay soaking wet in the dark, you might accidentally invite other moisture-loving diseases. So, set your alarm clock a little early. Take your coffee out to the garden and give your plants a safe, gentle misting while the air is still cool. We need to discuss a very dangerous gardening myth. It is the trap of thinking that if a little bit is good, a lot must be better. This is a huge mistake when it comes to baking soda. Remember, sodium bicarbonate contains sodium, which is essentially salt. While a tiny amount of sodium is fine, too much salt will pull moisture right out of your plant. If you dump half a box of baking soda into your watering can, hoping to grow giant monster cucumbers, you will kill them within 48 hours. The leaves will turn brown, crisp up, and fall off. It is called sodium toxicity. The line between medicine and poison is simply the dosage. Always stick strictly to the recipe. 1 tablespoon per gallon for spraying, 1 teaspoon per gallon for the roots. Do not apply it every single day. Once every 2 weeks is perfectly fine for prevention. Treat the baking soda like a powerful medicine, not like regular water. If you respect the measurements, your plants will reward you. If you get greedy, your garden will suffer the consequences. Finally, I want to share a secret ingredient that makes this entire system 100% more effective. If you just spray baking soda and water, it tends to roll right off the waxy surface of the cucumber leaf and fall onto the ground. You lose half your protection. The trick is to break the surface tension of the water. To do this, add exactly half a teaspoon of mild liquid dish soap to your 1-gallon mixture. Make sure it is a gentle, natural soap without harsh degreasers or heavy perfumes. The soap acts as a binding agent or a surfactant. When you spray the soapy soda mixture, it spreads out perfectly flat and sticks beautifully to the top and bottom of the leaves. Even if a light rain comes, the protective shield will hold on much longer. This little soap hack is the difference between an amateur gardener and a master gardener. It ensures that your magical baking soda formula stays exactly where it is needed, fighting off disease and keeping those precious cucumber vines healthy, strong, and highly productive all summer. And there you have it, the incredible hidden power of simple baking soda. Who would have thought that a cheap box from the baking aisle could replace an entire shelf of expensive toxic garden chemicals? We have learned how it fights off powdery mildew, fixes acidic soil, chases away pests, and even makes your cucumbers taste sweeter and crunchier. The real twist here is that the garden industry wants you to think growing food is complicated and expensive. But nature always provides simple, brilliant workarounds if you know where to look. By using this gentle kitchen remedy, you are working with nature, not against it. You are protecting the bees, saving money, and growing the healthiest food possible for your family. Thank you so much for watching and learning with me today. If you found this kitchen secret helpful, please hit that subscribe button right now. Give this video a big thumbs up so it can reach more gardeners, and do not forget to share it with a friend. Now, I want to hear from you. What is your absolute biggest struggle when growing cucumbers? Tell me all about it in the comments below, and I might make my next video just to help you solve it. Happy gardening, and see you next time.